Michael Gove admitted the government will consider extending England's lockdown past December 2 if the coronavirus is not brought under control with the latest measures. Michael Gove initially attempted to bypass the question as he insisted the government will continue to be guided by the science in its fight against the coronavirus. Boris Johnson announced new lockdown measures for England will be imposed from Thursday as the rate of infection continues to rise across the country. Mr. Gove initially said the lockdown will come under review on December 2 but did not initially confirm the policy could be extended past the date. But as Sky News host Sophie Ridge continued to press the Conservative frontbencher on the possibility of extension, Mr. Gove was forced to cave. Ms. Ridge said, if the R hasn't been brought down under 1 by December 2, could the lockdown be extended? Mr. Gove said the government is hoping the measures will help curb the infections and bring the virus under control, reiterating the commitment to base any further decision on the scientific data available. The response prompted Ms. Ridge to ask again, so, to be crystal clear then, you're hoping the data will show that reinfections are going down. But if the data, on the whole, is not looking as you're hoping, then the national lockdown could be extended. The Conservative frontbencher said, we will always make a decision in the national interest based on evidence. Ms. Ridge then asked again, is that yes? The Chancellor of the Duchy of Lancaster ultimately gave a clear albeit monosyllabic answer, yes. Mr. Gove was also confronted on why the government opted to delay the introduction of wider restrictions despite SAGE members advising in favor of a so-called circuit breaker lockdown. He said, I refer to what the chief medical officer said, that there is no perfect time to act. There is a diversity of opinion, of course, but the view we have from the chief medical officer, the deputy chief medical officer, is that a regional approach was a way of balancing restriction of the virus and also the economic needs of the nation. The advice that we were receiving at the time was that it was perfectly reasonable to take a regional approach. And we weren't outliers on that. The Conservative frontbencher added, that was the position of the French government, of the German government and that others were taking. We are taking the steps that we are now because we recognize that the rate of increase of the virus has been greater than was anticipated. And there are lessons that we've learned from the first lockdown. Lessons about how we treat people in the hospital, which means people are less likely to die. Lessons about testing, which means we've increased our testing capacity to nearly 500,000 and rising. And, also, another lesson we've learned from then is the vital lesson of making sure that we protect the NHS and also do everything that we can at the appropriate moment to protect the economy, which is why the Chancellor of the Exchequer announced the extension of the furlough scheme.